Okay, we are en route to the gym right now. Whoa! All right, there goes the setup, fuck. Okay, so as it turns out, you cannot drive with the chapstick camera mount, so I'm just gonna park it real quick. So yeah, so like I was saying, pull day going down, back, rear delts, and some biceps. Even though technically rear delts are part of like the shoulder, I always hit them on back day. I feel like the function of the rear delts is basically like another back muscle, so I've always hit rear delts with my pull sessions, so we're gonna get that going today. All right, so some back essentials in your training. Obviously, number one thing you're gonna need is some sort of pull down to hit the lats, right? There's many different ways you can go about it. You definitely want some form of a vertical pull down in your training, and then you definitely want some form of like more of a horizontal pull for the lats as well in your training. So keeping both of those in there is important so you can hit all divisions of the lats. That'll cover the bases for your lats and most of the width. But then you need some thickness, right? You need that meaty traps, you need that fucking turtle shell back. So we get into some rows. And number one row for me is gonna be some chest supported row variation where I can keep the elbows high and really try to target my upper back, my traps, rhomboids, that whole area. Get that thick upper back, that fucking beastly look, that Thanos look, that goddamn fucking infinity Give me that Thanos build real quick. But so yeah, some rows for the upper back. And like I said, you can also use rows to target more of the lats as well. Of course, every back movement is going to target the whole back. You can't like entirely isolate one part of the back, but you want to make sure you're doing a nice variation of movements so you can hit it in its entirety. So yeah, good row for the upper back, some pull down variations, including horizontal and vertical. And then of course you also want to hinge for the back. You want to be able to train your erectors. You want to get those erectors fucking erect one time, you feel me? But for me personally, I actually train my deadlift variation, like my hip hinge variation, on a leg day. That is when I'll do a stiff-legged deadlift to target more of the hamstrings and posterior chain. So I don't actually include any sort of hip hinge on my pull days because I'm already doing that on my leg days. So if you are gonna do a hip hinge, I think a stiff-legged deadlift will probably be the best option to really fucking blow up your back and put a ton of size on your back. So yeah, I think the holy grail for your back is gonna be your pull down work, your rows, and then a hip hinge. And that'll cover all the bases. And then after that, we're gonna get into some rear delts. Not quite sure what that's gonna look like yet for rear delts, but it will probably just be a reverse pec deck. That's probably one of the best rear delt movements, just because it keeps your body stable and you can really sort of target and emphasize the rear delts, because their main function is gonna be like shoulder abduction in that transverse plane, something like that. Fucking don't quote me on that. So yeah, that type of movement. So a machine reverse pec deck is gonna be a great option. That is like my go-to, probably the bread and butter. Rear delt cable fly is a good option too, or even dumbbell rear delt flies, great option. And then we'll get into some biceps. This gym I'm going to finally has a machine preacher curl, so that will more than likely be my go-to. And we'll probably go unilaterally, one arm at a time, so we can really just isolate the bicep. Yeah, I'm hit the road. Let's get to the gym and let's put this fucking work in. Okay. So I usually like to start my pull days off with a single arm movement, usually some sort of lat movement, whether it be a row or a pull down, just to really like warm up the back, really get the lats firing hard. And with single arm movements, you can really recruit more motor units in each muscle because you have your entire focus devoted to one side at a time. So I can really lock in on each lat as I go and really feel that contraction and the drive and squeeze. Also for that single arm pull down and for a lot of your sagittal rows where your lat's working in this plane right here, you're gonna wanna try to keep your scap as depressed as possible the whole time. Don't let it elevate up, but really try to like hold it down, depress it down as you go, and this will help to dictate the range of motion for the movement as well. So when I'm coming up, like obviously if I let my scap elevate, you know, like you'll go all the way up, right? But if I keep my scap down and depressed the whole time, I'll get a crazy stretch on the lat and my end range of motion will be like right here. So it cuts the range of motion to exactly where the lat's gonna be firing the best. It'll get you a really, really good stretch on the lat, and it'll really just help you drive and contract the lat a lot more. Another thing too is because I'm doing that single arm, I can really lean into that side a little bit. I can get just a little bit of a bend in my spine, flex my abs down hard, keep my core nice and braced, and I can lean into that side more to get more of a stretch and even more of a drive and contraction when I come down on that side. So do that for both sides and you'll really, really feel it in your lats. Okay, so the next thing we're hitting is a prime chest supported row for the upper back and traps. And like I said in my last video, these prime movements are so good because you can adjust the resistance profile. So here, trying to really target the upper back, I personally like the stretch to mid-range portion. That's what I like to emphasize the most weight on. I really like chest supported movements because it can just keep you stable. No variables at play, just pure back and traps that are firing on this one. This machine is nice because it has handles that are completely like pronated, so I can grip like a wide pronated grip, and it forces me to stay in that position. And then I can adjust the seat so that my body is far down, so my arms really have to stay up high. And so this machine can really force you into a great position for the upper back, because a lot of like free weight rows or cable rows, you can easily cheat down into more of a lat bias row, right? You can move your elbows down and stay here where it's going to be a lot more lat, and it'll be easier to do that, right? So your body naturally wants to sort of cheat down into that position. But when you can get movements like this that force you to stay up and pronated and really stay in that transverse plane, you can really hit the upper back super hard. And one more thing you'll notice is I'm not using straps. I haven't used straps in this whole lift. I'm not going to. And it's simply because my arms are lacking, my forearms are lacking muscle group, and I really want to bring them up. So I feel like over the years of me using straps, I've just grown too dependent on them, and I haven't really been able to develop my grip strength, my forearms as much as I want to. So I've recently stopped using straps entirely, and I'm letting my grip just be the limiting factor because I really want to bring that up. But yeah, for the vast majority of people, you probably are good with straps, but just keep that in mind. You know, always be aware of how your physique is developing over time, recognize weak points, and make sure that you're consciously addressing them in your training if they do pop up. So let's keep it moving. Okay, so we hit some pull downs. So I opted for a neutral grip, and really that just comes down to preference. I just feel my lats a lot better. And I think that that's an important concept that people really lose focus on when it comes to training, is your connection to a movement and your like preferences and like training what you enjoy and how you enjoy is so critical for your success. If you're not feeling a movement, like both physically you can't connect to the muscle, or mentally like you really hate what you're doing, you despise certain movements, you're really not gonna be able to go far in terms of your physique development. There has to be a level of like passion and love and just absolute fucking just connection with what you're doing. It's a critical piece of the puzzle. So even if it isn't like perfect on paper, even if my training doesn't exactly line up with what the science says or what the science dictates, sometimes that's just a better move, and I'll split from the trodden path a little bit just because I can feel it better, connect better, and I think in the long run that'll get me better gains as a result. So hit those pull downs, and now we're going to move into another seated row, another prime movement. With this one here, the handles will shift, and so I'm purposely using this for a sagittal movement where I can hit more of the lats. So it's more of a lat biased row. And like I said, the difference here with the handles not being fixed, I'm gonna be so tempted to wanna drive in like this, right? So it would be so hard to hit this row for like strictly upper back, because again, your form would break down, you would come in. So I'm just gonna utilize this as a lat movement. Also, one thing I forgot to mention with the pull down and with this is that on all these lat bias movements, I'm still trying to depress my scapula as much as I can. The whole time, that's what I'm cueing, just scapular depression, drive that lat down, drive that elbow into your back pocket. Let's run it. Man, this shit is not easy, but you gotta love it. You gotta love it. What they say? Pressure is a privilege, for real, bro. Whew. I love this shit. Okay, so we wrapped up back with those rows, and then I went into some reverse pec deck for the rear delts, hit a few sets there. And with the reverse pec deck, for me, like the best cue in the world is to really try to fire your abs down, really contract like your serratus muscles right here, those like fish gills, and try to keep your core like braced and stacked and down so that that range of motion can come all from the shoulders and all from the rear delts. Because when you're like moving around like this, right, you can really get a lot of compensation and a lot of like orientation in your body where the range of motion becomes less and less rear delts and more just like spine flexion, right? So by like keeping your body anchored down, all that range of motion has to come from the rear delts, and they can drive so much harder like that. So now we're gonna move into some biceps to finish things off, and we're going to hit a machine preacher curl, and I'm gonna do it unilaterally here, because a lot of machine preacher curls, they feel so bad when you try to get in it with both arms at the same time. Like they're really just not built for like, at least my frame personally. And so like really the only option is to do it unilaterally. So yeah, let's finish this thing strong, let's go. Okay, workout complete. Full push session in the books. Not gonna lie, that was a tough one. I'm fucking drained right now. But you get in there, you get it done, you put the work in, and that's what adds up over time. Consistency compounds, baby. So yeah, always a W when you get in there, get it done. My full training guide is in the link of this video, so if you wanna go support me, go get fucking aesthetic and jacked yourself, go grab that. Link is in the description. And yeah, let's head back home and I'll wrap up this video there. All right, so post-workout meal going down. So I just made the most diabolical, heinous mess of all time. Gonna be fun cleaning that up. But we got some yogurt and some cocoa powder. If you guys watch my full day of eating, I have been on the most devious cocoa powder kick recently. I don't know why. But yeah, every morning I've been having like cream of rice with the cocoa powder in it. And it's just so good. And so I just threw that in the yogurt. Didn't get it all in the yogurt apparently. That's gonna be a fucking good time cleaning it up. But yeah, it's really good. Probably not the most optimal post-workout meal, I'm not gonna lie to you. Gonna eat this up and then we can discuss the lift. All right, wrapped up that post-workout meal. My digestive system's gonna hate me for that one, but yeah, do as I say, not as I do. That was most certainly an F-tier post-workout meal. Oh my God. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that lift. I think I was able to get most of my like key points across. And it's crazy because like, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, like it is hard for me to talk in the gym and to articulate myself. Like, I don't know why or how, but like my relationship with the gym has always been such like a fucking bizarre one. Like I've always been so dialed with the gym to the point where like I've always been super anxious, like leading up to the gym. I'm super dialed during the gym, and then only after do the endorphins like finally hit and kind of like actually relax. I think it's just like the way I'm wired. Like I'm always like super anxious surrounding the gym, like leading up to it, during the gym, to the point where like I like can't even like speak. I'm so anxious sometimes. I literally like my voice won't even fucking project. I can't even articulate myself. Like don't get it twisted. It is important to be focused and to be locked in when you're in the gym. But to me, it was so much so that it was almost to like my detriment. Like it was so strongly imbued in me, this sense of like anxiety and stress and worry, that it would actually like really sort of impact me negatively. And so it's only been recently that I've been able to sort of work out of this into a more sort of healthy spot where I'm just more sort of present and calm throughout, which is the goal. And this YouTube thing is perfect because it's exactly what I need. It is so challenging for me. Like going in the gym and filming my lifts, trying to talk to you guys during my lifts, with all these people around me, like it is the exact challenge I need because it strikes at exactly like the core issue that I have with the anxiety, with the overthinking, caring what people think. Like this is it. This flies in the face of all of that shit. Like as I get better at this, as I do this more and more, I'm only gonna grow and improve as a person because it is striking exactly the issues that I have. So the point I wanted to really make up was like right along those lines. And the key to success is fucking doing it, is iterating. You got to iterate. And what do I mean by that? So let's say like I have a hard time speaking in the gym like I was talking about, right? I literally have a hard time to the point where my voice won't even come out or it's like super shaky and I have a hard time like articulating myself and like saying what I'm thinking. And so like it doesn't make for a good video in that case, right? If I can't explain to you guys what I'm doing, it's not gonna be quality content. Even with that being said though, let's say I have a hard time speaking, it doesn't mean that I just cut the video off and I never try again and I stop filming. You've got to just keep pushing and iterate. You gotta iterate. So what I mean is like, if I make a video and I'm not like satisfied with how it turns out, You don't scrap it, you gotta live with it. So that goes out there, you learn that lesson, and you try again the next time, and you improve upon the process, and you keep going, and you constantly are iterating. You're constantly taking something, trying it out, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't, refining it, and trying it again, and again, and again, and again, and you keep producing, keep iterating, until you can finally strike something that's actually quality. Like, I'm by no means am I a pro YouTuber yet. Hell no. But I'm getting there. And I've made leaps and bounds and improvements from a year ago when I first started this channel. I've gotten so much better at talking to the camera. I've gotten so much better at filming myself in the gym. I've gotten so much more comfortable doing so. That's like the biggest improvement. Like today, heading to the gym, I'm locked in, I'm chilling. Like I'm focused, I'm ready to make a good ass video. It used to be the case like a year ago that like that shit would ruin my day type shit. Like in the morning before going to the gym, I would just, my heart would be racing. I would be so nervous and anxious. I would have such a hard time filming myself in the gym because I would be so worried about what people would think. And the only reason I've been able to overcome that, and the only reason I've gotten to this point now where that's not an issue for me, is because I've been iterating. I've just stuck to it. I just kept doing it over and over and over again because that's the only way you can actually get better at something. And I feel like it's such an underlooked concept. Like people always focus on, you know, the positive outcomes or the lessons you can learn, where the number one thing you gotta do is just fucking send it. Just make something and put it out there. Make something, put it out there. And this is a lesson I've learned the hard way. Like I've always like been striving for perfection with my fitness content. I've always tried to make the best content I possibly could. And the problem with that is that you're just not gonna strike that gold right away. It's gonna take so many trial and errors to get to that, to the point where you're actually making quality content. And it would actually eat me up, and it would actually be to my detriment so badly because I'd make something, I wouldn't be satisfied with it. And especially on like my short form, like my Instagram and TikTok, like I would scrap so much of the content I would be making to the point where I would like in just one bad move, I'd be like dissatisfied with myself. I would wipe away like weeks worth of effort. I would take down like a dozen posts from my Instagram. And it's like, bro, that was like weeks and weeks of fucking hard work and effort. And most importantly, it was attempts, it was growth. It showed that growth over time. And I would just get stuck in this loop of just like looking backwards instead of forwards. I would be so focused on the negatives, on what I was doing badly, that I wouldn't even have the ability to look forward and realize that like you need these negatives. That's part of the process. Recently, I've really come to value the failures, the bombs, right? The bad content where you brick something. Because it's always a learning lesson and it's an opportunity to get better. And it's the only way forward. You can't just pick up a camera and make a banger, like a banger reel or a YouTube video that's gonna be amazing first try. You won't. It's gonna fucking suck balls. But that's the point. For so long, I thought that my content should be perfect, and I didn't accept the fact that I had to iterate. I had to go through stages where my content would be lackluster. And so I didn't grow. You know, I shot myself in the foot because I was just so focused on the negative aspects of my content. I was looking backwards for so long that I didn't accept the fact that bad content had to be there. It had to exist as a stepping stone into better content over time. So I was in this self-destructive loop, right? Where I was like the snake eating its tail. All I was focused on was like my negative content, like trying to wipe that off my platforms. And I wasn't just accepting of what it was and the role that it played, and that I needed to just let that be, let it exist, because the mindset I needed was not looking backwards, but looking forwards. I needed a growth mindset. I needed to be always thinking on the next project. Okay, what lesson can I learn and apply to the next project I'm going after? I was looking backwards. I needed to be looking forwards and thinking about what's next. How can I grow and improve? I needed to be iterating. Like you gotta understand, like you're gonna have these visions in your head that you're gonna want to turn into reality so badly. But especially at first, it's gonna be so hard to manifest that into reality, to turn your vision into like a concrete project that you're trying to work on. It takes skill, it takes time, it takes a lot of effort and a lot of learning lessons along the way. And so like you just gotta embrace the dookies, bro. You gotta embrace the fucking terrible posts. Like you're gonna go out there and you're gonna try your best and you're gonna look back at the footage and be like, bro, what the fuck is this shit? Like, and you're gonna be so disappointed, but like, don't lose hope, don't get discouraged, don't give up. The silver lining is that you need that shit. That's the only way you can learn and grow and improve. You can't get better theoretically. You cannot get better at this shit just like doing as much research as you possibly can and never going out in the field and experimenting. You can learn as much as you want about cameras. You can learn as much as you want about editing. You can get a great physique and all that shit, right? But your first video is gonna fucking suck no matter what. Like, this is a learned skill. You won't get better in theory. The only way through is to go out and do it again and do it again and do it again through all the stinkers. And there's gonna be a fucking ton. You've gotta iterate. You've gotta let the bad content exist as a learning lesson. And that's beautiful, I think, in its own way. And that's what I realized. And I wish I could go back and just leave all that stuff as it was and not be so focused on the negatives. But I wish I could have learned from that and really tried to look forward and grow and improve instead of looking backwards and trying to wipe all my posts off my Instagram. Because that's not the point. Like, it has to exist because it plays an important role. It showcases that growth over time. This is a game of iteration, point blank period. That's the only way to learn and improve and get better. You just fight through it, you keep going, and eventually you will reach a point where you're gonna strike fucking gold. And that's an amazing thing. It's now or never, baby. It's now or never. So yeah, bro, you just gotta fucking get after it. Iterate, iterate, iterate. Hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned, because I'm fucking coming through on my words. I'm telling you guys, I'm going to be active on this channel. We're taking the fuck over. Owen Henley to the fucking moon. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I will catch you guys in the next one. So peace. Yo, if you made it this far, you are a real one for real. I just wanted to hop on here and quickly say that I have officially partnered with Intelligent Shop, or Intelligent Elephant. This is where I get all my skincare, hair care products, and even like my fragrances and colognes. This is the brand that Derek, or MorePlatesMoreDates, made. He's the mastermind behind all of it. And so you know this stuff is like the most high quality, most effective stuff on the market. I've personally been a long-time user of this company. I've been using these products for literally years now. And so when they reached out to work with me, I was like, I have to do this because I fuck with them so heavily. I really, truly support this brand. They got me great results, especially like the skincare products. I use their minoxidil literally every single day. Try to keep the hairline in check. So I don't go bald. And I know that their fragrances are really good. So I've been a long-time supporter and user of this company. And now they hit me up and they're trying to work with me. And I had to get on that. Pause again. I'm not going to like shell out to you guys some bullshit. Like, this is a brand that I truly support and mess with heavily. So Code Owen is officially live. If you're looking for literally the best skincare and the best hair care products and the best fragrances in the game that you know are going to be the most effective, because it's fucking Derek, right? Derek's the one behind them. All the ingredients are like third-party tested, super effective to get you like the best skin, the best anti-aging routine to keep your hairline like locked in, all that stuff, right? Go to Intelligent, use Code Owen. It is finally live. You can save money and support me. So yeah, I'm stoked for this one. I've personally already been using Intelligent for years, like I said. So finally, I'm glad to be working with these guys. So yeah, check that out, Code Owen, and peace.